What if you could plant just one vine, walk away, and let it feed you for the rest of your life? No digging every spring, just one quiet vine on a fence, turning sunlight into food while you do almost nothing. Some vines are not ordinary plants, they return entirely on their own, quietly handing you food from the very same roots for decades. Some of these vines will outlive the person who plants them. Others are even more generous, feeding you from their fruit above the ground and their hidden treasures below it. Yet most people walk past these plants their whole lives and never know what they missed. Stay tuned, because the vine at number 2 once fed the starving pilgrims through their first brutal winters in America, and the protein buried in its roots is richer than almost anything else you can dig from the ground. By the end of this video, you will be wondering why no one ever told you about these incredible plants. Welcome back to the channel where we dig up the forgotten food wisdom the modern world left behind. If the idea of planting once and harvesting for a lifetime appeals to you, you're in the right place. Tap subscribe now so you never miss a discovery, and drop a comment telling me which of these vines you would plant first. Now let us get into the list of these 10 vines ranked from quietly generous to absolutely unforgettable. Number 10 is Malabar Spinach. Now this is not true spinach at all. It is a fast-climbing vine from the steamy tropics of India and southern Asia. Here is what makes it special. Ordinary spinach hates the heat. The moment summer turns hot, it bolts, turns bitter, and dies. Malabar spinach does the exact opposite. It thrives in the blazing heat of July and August, when almost nothing else green will grow. Gram for gram, its thick, glossy leaves carry several times your daily vitamin A and nearly all of your daily vitamin C, plus a healthy dose of iron and folate. Picture a wall of deep green, heart-shaped leaves climbing a trellis, dotted with tiny pink flowers. You cook the leaves like spinach, or stir them into soups where they add a lovely, silky body. In the frost-free tropics, it lives for years as a true perennial. Everywhere warmer summers reach, you grow it as a vigorous annual from a simple cutting, and it rewards you with months of fresh greens. It is beloved across India, the Philippines, Africa, and the Caribbean. A spinach that loves the heat is a quiet miracle. The next vine grows fruit that looks like it shrank in the wash. Number 9 is the Cucamelon. These are the most charming little fruits you will ever grow. They look like grapes that someone painted to resemble tiny watermelons, yet they taste like a crisp cucumber with a squeeze of fresh lime. Native to Mexico and Central America, they were eaten there long before Columbus ever arrived. A French botanist named Charles Victor Naudin first described them for Europe back in 1866. The vines are slender but vigorous, climbing 8 to 10 feet up any support. And here is the clever secret. Beneath the soil, the Cucamelon grows a small water-storing tuber. In mild winters, that tuber sleeps underground and sends up a brand new vine in spring, bigger than the year before. In cold regions, you simply lift the tuber, tuck it away, and replant it. So you truly plant it once. Even better, this little vine is remarkably tough. It shrugs off drought and it resists the pests and mildew that ruin ordinary cucumbers, even ignoring rodents and beetles. Picture dozens of thumb-sized melons dangling like ornaments among the leaves. You eat them fresh by the handful, toss them in salads, or pickle them like gherkins. Tiny melons from one tough vine are pure fun. The next vine can hand you over 100 fruits from a single plant. Number 8 is the Chayote. If you want sheer abundance, nothing on this list beats it. A single mature chayote vine can produce well over 100 pear-shaped fruits in one season, and the generosity does not stop at the fruit. The entire plant is edible. You eat the mild green fruit raw or cooked. The tender young shoots like asparagus, the leaves as greens, and the large starchy root like a potato. It comes from the cloud forests of southern Mexico and Guatemala, where the Aztec and the Maya grew it for countless generations. To plant it, you simply sprout a whole fruit from the grocery store, lay it on its side, and watch it erupt. The vine is a monster, easily running 30 to 50 feet, so give it a strong fence or a sturdy arbor. In warm regions, it returns for several years as a perennial. Where winters bite, a thick blanket of mulch protects the root, and it springs back when the weather warms. Picture a green curtain of broad leaves draped over an arbor, heavy with pale fruit. It is gentle on the body too, traditionally used to support healthy blood pressure and steady blood sugar. One vine, 100 fruits, every single part edible. The next vine gives you kiwis you can pop into your mouth like grapes. Number 7 is the hardy kiwi, also called the kiwi berry. Forget everything you know about the fuzzy brown kiwi from the supermarket. These are smooth and grape-sized with no fuzz at all, so you pop the whole thing in your mouth like candy. They are sweeter than the big kind, and they carry up to 5 times as much vitamin C as black currants. Now here is the truly astonishing part. A single mature kiwi berry vine can produce up to 100 pounds of fruit in 1 year. Plant it once, and it keeps producing for 30 to 40 years or more. And it is hardy beyond belief, surviving winters of 20 degrees below zero, far colder than the fuzzy kiwi could ever bear. It comes from the cold mountains of Japan, Korea, northern China, and the Russian Far East. You will need one male vine to pollinate your female vines and a little patience, since it takes a few years to begin. Picture clusters of glossy green berries hanging from a vigorous vine in autumn. These are kiwis the size of grapes. And here is a little twist, because the legendary vine waiting at number 1 gives you the actual grapes, and it can feed a whole family for 100 years. But first, a vine that grows a berry tasting of 5 things at once. Number 6, the passion vine, and it gives you 2 gifts in one plant. First, the fruit. Crack open a passion fruit and you find fragrant jewel-like pulp that is sweet, tangy, and utterly tropical. But there is a hardy cousin from the southeastern United States called the Maypop, and this one is special. Its fruit is delicious, yes, but its leaves and flowers are also a famous calming herb. For generations, herbalists have used passion flower to ease anxiety and quiet a restless mind at bedtime. Studies suggest it genuinely helps people fall asleep and rest more deeply, working through a soothing brain chemical called GABA. Picture an intricate purple and white flower, almost otherworldly, opening on a climbing vine. The tropical passion fruit suits warm places like Australia, the southern United States, and the tropics. The Maypop is far braver, surviving cold winters and bursting back from its roots every spring. One honest word of care. The Maypop spreads by underground runners, so plant it in a container or use a root barrier to keep it polite. And passion flower can deepen the effect of sedatives, so be mindful there. Fruit by day and calm by night from one vine. The next vine grows a berry so unusual it tastes of 5 flavors at the very same time. Number 5 is Schisandra, known as the 5-flavor berry. And that name is not poetry. This is the only fruit on earth that hits all 5 tastes at once. Salty, sweet, sour, bitter, and pungent, all in a single small red berry. It grows on a hardy woody vine native to the forest of China, Korea, and the Russian Far East. People there have treasured it for more than 2,000 years. It was recorded in one of the oldest Chinese medical books, the Herbal of Shenong. Healers call it an adaptogen, a plant that helps the body resist fatigue and handle stress. Traditionally, it has been used to boost stamina, support the liver, and sharpen focus. Picture long, drooping clusters of bright crimson berries glistening against glossy green leaves. The vine climbs vigorously up to 30 feet and returns faithfully every year once established, asking for almost nothing in return. Like the hardy kiwi, you will want both a male and a female plant to get a crop of berries. It thrives in cold climates that would defeat most fruiting vines, which makes it a treasure for northern gardeners. A berry with 5 flavors and ancient power is hard to top. But the next vine has been feeding people one part of itself that nearly everyone throws away. Number 4 is the sweet potato, and I promise you do not know its real secret. Everyone knows the sweet orange root, but almost nobody in the West knows that the leaves are edible, and that they rank among the most nutritious greens on the entire planet. Across Africa and Asia, those leaves are a daily staple. They are packed with vitamins A and K, with iron and calcium, and they taste mild and delicious, lightly cooked. The best part, you can harvest the leaves all summer long without shrinking your crop of roots below. So one trailing vine quietly feeds you twice. Picture a low carpet of heart-shaped green leaves spreading across a bed, with sweet tubers swelling in the dark soil beneath. In the warm zones, it grows as a true perennial that simply keeps going. Where it freezes, you save a single tuber over winter, sprout little shoots from it, and plant them out for free the next spring, so you never buy it again. Like the forgotten vine waiting for you at number 2, the sweet potato keeps its real treasure hidden underground. But first, a remarkable yam that grows its own little potatoes high up in the air. Number 3 is the Chinese yam, sometimes called the cinnamon vine. This is a genuine staple food vine, the kind that can truly fill a belly. Beneath the soil, it grows one long, pale tuber that can reach up to 3 feet down. In Japan, it is grated raw into a silky dish, and across China, it is simmered in soups and valued as a tonic in traditional medicine. But the magic happens above ground too. Along the stems, the vine forms little bumps called bulbils, tiny potatoes that grow right in the air. Those air potatoes drop, root themselves, and become brand new plants. So once you have it forever. It is unusually cold hardy for a yam, and it has been grown in China for more than 2,000 years. Picture a slender vine clothed in glossy heart-shaped leaves with little brown bulbils tucked where each leaf meets the stem. Now here is the honest warning you must hear. This vine is invasive across much of the eastern United States, where it smothers native plants. So grow it only in a large barrel or container, harvest those bulbils so they cannot escape, and always check what is allowed where you live. A yam that grows potatoes in the air is astonishing, but number 2 is the forgotten American vine I promised you, the one that kept the pilgrims alive. Number 2 is the groundnut, also known as hopness. This is the forgotten treasure I promised you, and its story is remarkable. It is a native North American vine that grew wild from Canada all the way down to Florida. When the pilgrims faced starvation in their first desperate winters, it was the indigenous peoples who showed them this humble vine, and its roots made the difference between living and dying. The writer Henry David Thoreau was so taken with it that he wrote about it in his book Walden. So what makes it so special? Along its roots, the groundnut grows strings of plump tubers lined up like beads on a necklace. Those tubers carry roughly 3 times the protein of a potato, along with calcium and iron. And because it belongs to the pea family, it pulls nitrogen from the air and quietly feeds the soil while it feeds you. Picture a slender vine with clusters of reddish-brown flowers and a hand pulling a string of pale tubers from the dark earth. It returns and multiplies year after year, the tubers growing larger each season. One honest note, they can take 2 to 3 years to reach full size, so this vine rewards a patient gardener, a forgotten vine that feeds both you and the soil. And now number 1, the single vine that can feed a family for 100 years. Number 1 is the grape. After everything we have seen, the humble grapevine is still the undisputed champion of plant once and harvest forever. Here is the fact that stops people cold. A single grapevine can live and produce fruit for 50 to 100 years. The oldest known grapevine in America, nicknamed the mother vine, grows in North Carolina and is believed to be around 400 years old. It is still bearing fruit today. Think about that. You could plant one vine now and your grandchildren could still be eating from it long after you are gone. Just 1 or 2 vines will supply all the grapes a family can eat. And the gifts pile up. You get sweet grapes fresh off the vine, raisins when you dry them, and juice when you press them. Even the young leaves are edible, wrapped around rice and herbs in the classic dish called dolmas. Best of all, there is a grape for every climate on Earth. Cold northern gardens grow tough American grapes like the Concord. Warm Mediterranean lands grow the classic wine and table grapes, and the hot, humid American South grows the rugged muscadine. Picture heavy clusters of jewel-colored fruit hanging beneath broad green leaves in the golden autumn light. One vine planted once, fruit, raisins, juice, and even edible leaves for 100 years. That is not a crop. That is an inheritance. So there they are, 10 incredible vines that feed you for life, each one planted a single time and harvested for years, even for generations. Fruit and greens and protein, climbing a fence, returning on their own, asking almost nothing of you. This is the wisdom our ancestors understood and we somehow forgot. Now stop and picture what this really means for you. Most gardening is a treadmill. Every spring you spend money on seeds and seedlings. Every spring you dig, you plant, you water, and you hope. And every autumn it all dies back to nothing, so you begin the whole cycle over again. These vines break that treadmill completely. You do the work once. You plant once, you build one simple support, and then you step back and let nature take over. From that day on, the vine does the growing for you. It climbs higher each year. It spreads wider each season. And it hands you more food than it did the year before, with less effort, not more. That is the quiet power of a perennial vine. It turns a single afternoon of planting into a harvest that can last the rest of your life. And here is the part that touches people the most. Some of these vines will still be alive and giving long after you are gone. Plant one beside a fence today, and one day your children, or even your grandchildren, may stand in that same spot and eat from it, never knowing it was your hands that put it there. That is more than a garden. That is a gift handed across time. There is real freedom in this too. When you grow food that comes back on its own, you depend a little less on the grocery store and a little less on rising prices. You are not at the mercy of a bad season because a well-established vine is tough and forgiving. You waste less, you spend less, and you eat fresher than anything a shelf can offer. And you do not need acres of land to do it. A vine grows up, not out. A bare fence, a plain wall, an old arbor, or a single strong post is all the room many of these need. Even a small backyard or a sunny balcony has space for at least one. So let me leave you with something simple to do. Do not try to plant all 10 at once. Start with just one. Choose the vine that fits your climate and the food you most want to eat. If you love fresh fruit, begin with one of the berries or the grape. If you want a real staple to fill the table, begin with one of the roots. Build it a sturdy support before you plant, because these vines grow vigorous and strong, and they will thank you for it. Then give that first season a little patience. Some of these vines settle in quietly at first, sending their energy down into the roots, and then they burst into life in the years that follow. The patient gardener is always the one who is rewarded. Most of all, remember the simple promise behind every plant on this list. Plant it once, and it feeds you again and again and again. That is the secret our grandparents knew, and it is yours now too. When you choose your vine, come down to the comments and tell me which one you picked and where in the world you are planting it. I read every single message, and your choice might be the spark that inspires the next person to start. And if this opened your eyes today, tap subscribe and stay close. Because next we are uncovering the perennial trees that feed you for a lifetime from a single planting. Until then, plant once and harvest forever.